Hi guys, my name is Stephanie Retzler. I am a level 3 CYC at Fanshaw's St. Thomas campus. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make tacos and a side salad. So we're just going to start with some kitchen prep and then we'll get into making the actual meal.
So the first thing I'm doing here is just taking a paper towel with some soap and water, and I'm wiping off all of the counter spaces that I'm going to be using. Next, I'm going to wash my hands with soap and water just to prep for cooking with any of the materials that we're using so that we're cooking with clean hands always. Next, I'm prepping any of the fresh ingredients. So here I'm using a strainer to wash the berries for the salad. And then we're going to use a scrub brush for the pepper for the taco mixture and a scrub brush on the apple for the salad as well.
Okay, so I have all the ingredients laid out here that we're going to be using to make the tacos. This is my ground beef. So when I buy ground beef, I usually buy it in a large package and then portion it out into bags when I freeze it. So I have this portioned bag that I de-thawed overnight in my fridge, and I do like to de-thaw it in a bowl just so that if it drips, that doesn't contaminate any of the other food in my fridge. So to do special consideration, I'm going to talk about being vegetarian. So on the alternative that you didn't want to use ground beef in your tacos, you could use like refried beans or just like regular canned beans like black beans, kidney beans, whatever you prefer. As like the protein substitute for the meat, and you can still use the taco seasoning on the beans to get that same flavor. Another consideration that I'm also taking in is lactose intolerance, because I personally am lactose intolerant. So if you see me using any dairy products, they're all lactose free. So you can see the cheese here is lactose free, this yogurt is lactose free, and then the feta that is going into the salad is also made with sheep milk, so it's lactose free as well. So when we do the tacos, we have the meat that we're going to cook in the pan. We have our seasoning that we're going to mix with 2/3 a cup of water, which is already portioned into this measuring cup for us. I'm going to cut up some onion and garlic and the pepper that we washed earlier to go in with the meat mixture. And then we're going to top with some shredded cheese, some shredded lettuce, some avocado, some taco sauce, and a little bit of yogurt. For the salad, I'm going to cut up some lettuce, and then we're going to use the berries that you saw me washing in the clip before this. So the strawberries and blueberries, as well as the apple. And then we're going to put some feta in there and top it with a nice dressing.
All right, so using a clean knife and a cutting board, I'm going to start cutting up the ingredients for the taco mixture that's going to go in with the meat. So I'm starting with slicing up the onion, and then I will dice up some garlic and the pepper as well. And I just have a bag beside me for any of the stuff that's coming off of the fresh ingredients that would be going in the garbage, so that I don't have to keep opening the garbage while I'm prepping. So here I'm taking those ingredients that we cut up and I'm just putting them in a bowl off to the side so that when the meat mixture is ready for them, we can throw them right in. So next I'm transferring the meat from the bag into the pan so that I don't have to touch the raw meat at all. And I'm just using a paddle to push it around. We're going to turn the burner on medium and let this start cooking while we continue to prep the rest of the recipe. Okay, so while the meat starts to cook in the pan, we're going to keep an eye on it, but we're going to multitask and keep prepping the fresh ingredients for the rest of the meal. So I'm using the same cutting board and knife here because as long as it's not touching raw meat, we can continue to use them for all the veggies and fresh ingredients. So here I'm just cutting up an avocado to prep for a taco topping. So next I'm taking my cheese grater and I'm just shredding some cheese to prep as another topping for the tacos, and then I'm just going to put the cheese in a bowl and set it off to the side for later. So next I'm cutting up the lettuce here. This is going to prep lettuce for a taco topping and then also be the basis for the salad. So I have 2 separate bowls here to portion them out, but just make sure that you are washing the lettuce using a lettuce spinner or just some water and drying with paper towel before you throw this into the recipe. So back at the stove here, I'm stirring and checking on the meat, and it was cooking a little bit slower than I was hoping, so I just put a lid on it to help keep some of the heat in. Alright, so while that meat continues to cook, with a big salad bowl that has my freshly washed lettuce, I'm cutting up these strawberries and throwing them into the salad mixture. And I'm cutting up my apple, and again, that's going to go into that salad bowl as well. And then we're adding in the washed blueberries. And from there, I'm just dicing up the feta cheese. That's going to go into the salad bowl as well. And then the salad is done. We just have to dress it at the end. Okay, so coming back to the stove, I'm taking the lid off and stirring it around, making sure that nothing looks pink and that the meat looks fully cooked and browned. You do want to drain out the grease and fat that comes from cooking the meat into some type of a grease container. If you pour this down your sink, it can clog your pipes. But please do this with the assistance of an adult who knows what they're doing. For the purpose of this video, I didn't do this on camera, just because it was hard to film and do at the same time, but it is definitely an important step. Okay, so now I'm taking the bowl with the onion and garlic and pepper, and I'm adding that into the meat mixture. And just mixing everything around to make sure it's combined nicely. This stuff is going to cook pretty fast because the meat in the pan are already hot. Okay, so now I'm taking the taco seasoning and adding that to the pan along with the 2/3 of a cup of water. I do like to buy the low sodium taco seasoning just because it is a little bit healthier for you. So once that's in the pan, we're just going to stir everything until it's really well combined, and it's going to sit for a couple minutes, and then the filling will be done. Okay, so after that sat for a couple minutes, I'm taking the lid off, giving it one final stir, and then turning my burner off, and we're going to transfer this into a bowl for serving.
So if you guys followed along correctly with me, this should be kind of what your workspace is looking like. So we have the stuff for the tacos here. We have our cheese, the lettuce, the avocado, and then the yogurt and the taco sauce to top with, and our filling here. And then we have some whole wheat tortillas to wrap the tacos in. Then we have our salad and then a dressing of your choice. So I'm putting a raspberry vinaigrette on mine, but you guys can kind of use whatever you think will go well and whatever you prefer.
Okay, so I'm just grabbing one of the tortillas and laying it flat on a plate, and then using the paddle and putting some of the meat mixture into the center there. Then I'm taking some of the shredded cheese and placing it on top of the meat. It's nice because the heat from the meat will cause that cheese to melt. And then we're adding a little bit of avocado on the side there as well. Then I top it with yogurt and some of the taco sauce, and then you want to put the lettuce on there as well. I forgot to do it in this video, but add the lettuce, and then you'll fold the bottom up like a flap and then roll the sides in on top of one another. Then for the salad, I'm just portioning an amount into a salad bowl using the tongs, and then you can dress it when you're ready to eat it to make sure that it doesn't go soggy.
Wow. The flavor is phenomenal.